Welcome to the VAR Brussels edition, the Volunteering Advocacy Report from November 2021 from the Centre for European Volunteering, CEV. My name is Gabriela Civico and I'm the Director. The Interest Group on Volunteering in the European Parliament, hosted by the co-chairs MEPs Irena Joveva from Renew Europe, Michaela Sodrova, EPP, and Dominic Ruiz-Devesa from S&D, met online in March with 30 participants to discuss the 10th anniversary of EYV 2011 and the new blueprint for European volunteering 2030. The European Solidarity Corps in the new MFF and the implications of the delays to the programme launch and the realities of virtual volunteering projects and the COVID-19 situation on the sustainability of the hosting and sending organisations was also a matter for the joint discussion. In April, there was a follow-up meeting with Ms. Sophia Eriksson Waterschut from DG EAC and 28 participants, providing the latest update on the state of play of the European Solidarity Corps programme. In July, the Volunteering Interest Group meeting met again online before the holidays to have a joint discussion with the Interest Group on solidarity between generations, on the proposal for the European Platform for Older People Volunteering from the German Presidency Council conclusions. There were 20 participants and Ms. Nicole Sundorf-Hint from the German Ministry of Families, Seniors, Women and Youth was a guest speaker. We took part online at the launch conference for the European Solidarity Corps and the Erasmus Plus under the new MFF that was held on the 18th of June in Viana do Castelo, Portugal, organised by the Portuguese Presidency 2021 with the presence of Commissioners Margarita Chinas and Maria Gabriel. The European Solidarity Resource Centre Advisory Group met online in October to discuss the latest developments with the programme, such as the newly incorporated humanitarian aid strand and the removal of the employment strand, as well as the work programme for the Resource Centre from 2022 onwards. We will meet again and hopefully in person in 2022. The EU recommendation focused on facilitating the travel of young people involved in volunteering activities in other member countries outside of their home nation and requiring cross-border transport was open for public consultation until 21st of July 2021. The next step is the adoption of the recommendation by the European Commission, hopefully by the end of this year. We disseminated the public consultation on our social media and newsletter. We have been part of the working group preparing the online event taking place in November, focused on updating the European guidelines on the validation of non-formal and informal learning. In March, the Civil Society Convention on the Future of Europe held its constitutive meeting, gathering over 70 European civil society networks. 2 co-chairs were elected, Alexandrina Namovic, Secretary General of the European Civic Forum, and Milos Ristovski, Secretary General of JEF Europe. I was elected as a member of the steering committee. The steering committee met in April to develop the thematic clusters to look at the subjects of the conference. CEV is co-chairing, together with Volunteer Europe, the Our European Life cluster, focused on civic space, migration challenges, sport, freedom of movement, European identity, security, and the EU's role in the world. CEV has been represented in the convention by Nicolo Triaca from CSV Net in the thematic cluster Our European Life, Leila Sait Relic, CEV President in the thematic cluster Unions Democratic Foundations, and by Anno Viltrop, CEV Vice President in the thematic cluster Fighting Climate Change and Environmental Challenges. In June, July and September, there were other cluster and plenary meetings. In October, we have had the possibility to participate in the conference plenary in the European Parliament in Strasbourg. And we have also been accepted as an observer member of the Citizens Panel number 4 on migration. We are currently consulting on the key questions related to these topics in order to gather ideas and suggestions to formulate our cluster conclusions with concrete policy proposals for the European policymakers. A CEV webinar was held on this topic in October, and a survey is available to give feedback on the topics under discussion until the middle of November. On the 23rd of April, in collaboration with SDG Watch Europe, CEV hosted a webinar about the contribution of volunteers in achieving the SDGs, and CEV members had the opportunity to share their experiences. It was an occasion to discuss how members can contribute with volunteering data and including volunteering impact in the Voluntary National Reviews, VNRs. The webinar also served as an occasion to exchange ideas on how they are planning to advocate and lobby for this topic. We have continued to contribute to the activities of the ESC in highlighting the crucial role of civil society in the recovery process from the crisis created by the COVID-19 situation, urging policymakers to consider the needs and role of civil society in their future planning for immediate and long-term recovery. In March, we organised a session together with ESC SOC section as part of the 2021 Civil Society Days, entitled "The Role and Economic Value of Volunteers in the Road to Recovery and Beyond." The report of the workshop is available on the ESC website. I have also attended the ESC Liaison Group meeting with over 40 participants from CSOs and ESC members. There was discussion and update on the ESC's work programme on the Conference on the Future of Europe and the schedule of future work in line with the European Democracy Action Plan, the European Semester and the Recovery and Resilience Facility, as well as the cooperation between ESC Liaison Group and Civil Society Europe. In October, I was also invited to moderate a discussion organised by the ESC Associational Life category on improving EU public consultation instruments and the proper implementation of Article 11 of the Lisbon Treaty. I have also been appointed expert for the upcoming ESC Own Initiative opinion on volunteers, citizens building the future of Europe. In May, there was a meeting of the European Parliament Committee on Culture and Education, CULT. The study, Education and Youth in Post-COVID Europe, Crisis Effects and Policy Recommendations was presented. Together with EFIL and the European Youth Forum, CEV gave contributions to the exchange of views on the topic, Challenges and Opportunities for Youth in a Post-COVID-19 Context, on solidarity, civic engagement and volunteering activities for young people in the post-pandemic context. Also in May, the new Citizens' Equality, Rights and Values CERV Fund was launched in an online event, and I was invited to speak at the policy debate on citizens' engagement, alongside Marie-Hélène Bullinger, Head of the Unit, Union Citizenship, Rights and Free Movement from the European Commission, Lukas Koit, Member of the European Parliament from the CULT Committee, Shadow Rapporteur for CERV, and Frédéric Vaillet, Secretary General of the Council of European Municipalities and Regions, CEMR. The draft blueprint for European volunteering, BEV 2030, was presented in an event on the 29th of June, held in collaboration with CPV and CACES, our members in Portugal, in the framework of the Portuguese presidency of the European Union. The final version of the blueprint has been approved by the CEV members in the General Assembly in September. It is now available in English, French, Italian, Spanish and German, and we are actively presenting it to the policymakers at the local, regional, national and European level. It is available for wider endorsement by stakeholders and partners. The European Youth Forum, Volunteer Europe and Leadership Development Association Balkan have already endorsed it. This is all from this edition of the Volunteering Advocacy Report Brussels edition. We'd love to hear from you and your VARs from your context. Until next time, goodbye and thank you for watching.